Welcome to the show with all the loudest, most colorful, cheesy MMA graphics, hilarious South African comedians, or just South African comedians experiencing hilarity. This show, we review the first fights of 2021. Why wasn't Conor wearing a shirt when he arrived on his yacht? And why no one was brave enough to stop Max Holloway skateboarding in the hotel? I mean, come on, this isn't his mom's house, right? And those are also joke topics. So without further delay, let's get going with the real topics. And here's my first question. Out of Holloway and Keita and McGregor Poirier, which to you was the better card overall?
Overall card, look for the McGregor Poirier card. I literally watched the Michael Chandler fight, and then I watched the headline fight. I thought the Holloway card was a very good card. Dope action. Everybody got involved from beginning to end almost. I think it was amazing. But I think the highlight for me about the McGregor Poirier card is not only Conor McGregor being the biggest UFC star to ever do it, but also the introduction of Iron Michael Chandler, which, I mean, those two punchlines on its own is probably as big as it gets. So I'm going to go with the McGregor card for this one.
Interesting. I'm going to go with the first one, just as in terms of the fights were better. On that level, I'm going to cut out all the hype bullshit, and I'm going to go strictly for action. Nice finishes.
The raw evidence.
The raw. Exactly.
Yeah, the proof was in the pudding with that one, so to speak. So but as I said, like as a year ahead and things to come, I feel like the Michael Chandler fight really, like, that's like, whoa, what's next? And also Poirier beating McGregor, you're like, oh, what's next? And Khabib not coming back.
In terms of the main events, right? Which do you think was more entertaining, the actual fights? Was Max's fight more entertaining, or was McGregor versus Poirier more entertaining?
The problem with Max's fight, it was a total domination.
Yeah.
It's like it was the same thing Max did to Ortega. He took a guy who's really good, who's really awesome, who's really skillful, and he just schooled him. It's like the dude down. Yeah, the dude was like, he's good in terms of matric. But then Max came and did like university honors degree on him. Like the guy was like, I'm not my matric. He's like, yeah. Right. These guys had never seen a textbook like that before. Encyclopedia. Max came on encyclopedia.
His coaches didn't know
was reading Macbeth.
No one in his camp knew that textbook. You couldn't get cheat notes from anyone.
Nobody. You were studying the wrong subject. Max was like, yo, man, it's geography. It's like, geography.
Man, I studied biology.
I did bio for this. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna have to school you. And that's literally what Max did for 5 rounds. He schooled a schooled person. I mean, Calvin Keita is not a walk in the park. And Max totally dominated him. The nice thing about the Poirier-McGregor fight is, I thought McGregor won round 1.
Yeah, no. So I'm actually going to go with McGregor versus Poirier as a better fight, because for the fight itself, like, that's when the drama plays out, right? And I thought that it was a nice finish. It was a good first round. You know, a lot went on. There was a nice takedown attempt. Conor got up, and we're like, oh shit, okay, Conor's, he's improving his game. The things he was talking about in terms of being better at every range looked good. But then, just the way Dustin turned it around and kept his composure. And look, I'm a bit biased because even though I loved watching Max go to work, and do school stuff, like, I enjoy a fight with the finish, like where the drama can play out to like a conclusion.
To like a crescendo, to a climax. Like a climax is cool. And I felt like McGregor came on in the first round. He did the shoulder strikes were dope. I enjoyed those. He had some elbows that landed over the top on the cage. McGregor had some elbows. McGregor caught him with a couple of good 1-2s, pop, pop, 1-2, the usual, those slick, cool 1-2s. He landed some with the right, left, and he landed some with the left, right. McGregor, I thought, did very well in that first round, but I think, like the commentators, like DC and the guys would have said, Poirier invested in those calf kicks. And they definitely paid dividends in that second round.
Okay. Cool, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the losers, right? Why do you think Kattar lost, firstly?
I think Kattar lost because there's two things. Number one, styles make fights. Number two, there's levels to the game, right? There's levels to the game. You think you're a good striker until you meet a really good striker. The same as with Khabib. You think you know a wrestler until you meet a really good wrestler. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think Kattar's got good boxing. I think Kattar's got good striking. But I think Max has just mastered it over a longer period of time. He's just slicker at it. He's just got more stamina for it. He just lets the hands go with way more ease. Some guys, to throw a combination, they've got to really put thought into it. They've got to set themselves in the right position. They've got to have their right foot forward. They've got to land the first one, see if they can land the second one. If they can, do a 1-2. If not, 1 and out. And now if they want to get to like a 4-punch combo, they have to do 1-2. Should I do 3? Oh yeah, 3's there. Oh, should I do 4? Max, to me, just lets it go with ease. He can rattle off 4 punches, 1, 2, 3, 4, without even having to think too much, position too much, play it out in his mind too much. He just really ticks it off and just really lets it go. And I think Calvin Kattar was just outclassed. Yeah, I think if Calvin Kattar had to go back to the drawing board and just fix small things, he's probably back in that fight. But he was outclassed, I feel.
It's hard. Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to see him get back in that fight after watching such a, like you say, like a lesson. Just to compare, like what we were saying before, like I was saying that, Max, he better, this guy's such a good striker. He better employ some of his MMA steez and, try different things at different ranges. And it just goes to show how easy it is to underestimate how good Max is when he works in his style. He does the pressure. He controls the range. He comes in and he's like, okay, no, this is my space. And his pace is long and it's short. There's a lot of pain in that thing. I think Kattar should have done is when he could see he wasn't winning in the striking exchanges, I don't know, try something else. I don't know what else he's good at. But whatever it is, he's got to, that's what mixed up martial arts is for. That's the beauty of this game. It's if your one range isn't working, you've got 4 other ranges to try and, turn it around and
guys, you have said this time and time and time again. You literally always come back to it. This is what mixed martial arts is all about, right? Calvin Kattar had no business trying to stand with Max for 5 rounds. After the first round, after the first round, 2 rounds, you've got to start looking for something else. Fair enough. Max Holloway does have the highest takedown defense percentage in the UFC, I think. I think in the entire pound for pound, his takedown defense is ranked. I think it's sitting on something ridiculous, 96% or something. So for Calvin to try to not only get beat up on the feet, but then to also waste energy trying to take down a 96% dude, I mean, maybe you should throw in the towel at that point and be guys, this is not working. Throw in the towel. We're not going to take him down. We're not going to beat him in the boxing. We're not going to make it. I mean, Ortega's corner, I think, with Ruim in the corner, if I'm not mistaken. Ortega was in the corner. Am I right? And his corner said, okay, nah, call it. Or the doctor said, nah, call it. Because nothing's going to change. You're going to go out there, it's going to be the same thing. This dude's going to beat you up for an entire round.
But I think what happens is, and because it's such a high intensity environment, the adrenaline's going. So those shots, they'll stop you, but they feel the pain after. So you could see Kattar was weakening, but he wasn't completely
Yeah.
weak where he was, he was doing the chicken dance and
Yeah.
fucking,
So it's really unfortunate because the beating that Max Holloway gives you and the beating that Khabib gives you, and in many times the beating that Tony Ferguson gives you, the ref doesn't really have the opportunity to save you
yeah.
because they're not knocking you out. Like Tony's just cutting you up.
Yeah.
You bleeding from your eye, from your head,
Yeah.
from your mouth. You hurting in your body, but you can fight. The ref has no business getting involved. When Khabib has you on the ground and is beating you up, the ref can't help you. He's not pulling you in an armbar and trying to break your arm so the ref can jump in. He's not doing major blows where you can't intelligently defend yourself and the ref jumps in. And Max does the same thing. He pounds on you, pounds on you, pounds of you. But you're still intelligent enough to block every third or fourth punch, but he's hitting you with like the other 10. So it's a catch-22 for the referee, and it's a catch-22 for the guy getting his ass whooped, because what you gonna do? Like fake a knockout?
Yeah, well, you're a fighter. You keep
Maybe.
fighting, right? Like you spend so many weeks preparing for this thing. Unless you you just kind of put your hands down. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about why Conor lost.
I'm gonna go with Connor's explanation in this one.
Yeah.
I think it's ring rust. I think it's a lot of ring rust. I thought he looked rusty as hell.
Yep.
I thought he missed with punches that he doesn't normally miss with. There's a few combinations where he misses both a 1 and a 2, misses both of them, and I'm like, well, that's not usual.
Yeah.
He did land a few combinations that I was like, there's the old Conor. Also, I don't think humble Conor is the way to go. I don't think humble gentleman Conor speaking good about the opponent, talking about I respect Dustin. I respect Dustin. I respect the work that he does. I don't think that's the way to go.
I'm gonna eat his hot sauce tonight. Tonight, this hot sauce is right on my sandwich, bro. I don't care if there's poison in it. I'll eat that poison.
Yeah. So I mean, this new. I mean, we've always said, the trash talk might be overhyped, overrated, but this humble thing sure as hell is not working either.
Interesting. I was enjoying it, though.
I think he should have tried to get back in Dustin's head. It probably wouldn't have worked, but he should have tried. Dustin was way too confident going into this fight. He was his good old self. He did whatever he thought he needed to do.
He's looking forward to doing business deals with Conor McGregor and shit.
He's having a good time. This guy's having a good time. Of course, he's gonna knock your ass out. He feels good.
It's crazy, eh? He knocks a guy out and he still has to invest in his chili. It's like, yes.
I suppose the rest of the negotiations should go much smoother.
Yeah.
I imagine Dustin saying, yo, man, you're going to invest $1 million, and Conor be like, fucking no. And he's like, hey, man, hey, I'll calf kick your ass. Damn well, give me. Also, I feel like Conor McGregor doesn't look good losing. Like the image of him laying on the side of the cage.
Having a nap.
Having a nap. That is not a good look, bruh. He looks like he drank like a whole case of Proper 12. I'm like, yo, look at
At once.
At once, bro. Nah, dude, that's not. Conor needs to find a better way of losing.
Yeah. Look, he does really well in the press conference afterwards, but yeah. Look, the thing is, he changed when he fucked Cerrone up, right? And then everyone was like, oh, that's great. So I think what it did set him up for is being better in defeat now, right? But he's probably not planning it out. Like, hey, should I be humble or should I be cocky? Or maybe he is. It's tough to say. But I personally feel that Khabib beat the cocky out of him. Because I think after that fight,
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think between Floyd Mayweather and Khabib, they disciplined him.
Yeah, they did a bit.
Mayweather and Khabib should just like start a rehab.
Or something, yeah, for cocky guy, for trash talkers.
A rehab for like delinquents and what? Just go in there, but you'll come out a saint.
So I think that you're right. It sucked watching Conor lose, but especially when he just dropped his hands, bro, and then Dustin was like, okay, and he just teed off on him. Because I think he was up against the fence. From what I remember, he put his foot down, and you could see like, he was over. Conor quits, bro. I'm sorry to say, like, and I'm not saying Conor doesn't have balls, but Conor doesn't go balls deep and fight. Conor doesn't like. He'll put his balls in like just a little bit, like just. I respect Conor a lot because he loves the game, right? And I think that's why the humble Conor, you can see how much more he loves the game when he talks respectfully about the game, right?
Yeah.
But, and I think that it's not great seeing Conor lose, but I think the way he conducted himself, like pre-fight and post-fight, is the best possible way for him to get more fights, because everyone wants to see him fight again. I do. I personally say, and I'm not trying to say that Conor's the greatest or anything like that, but I think I respect Conor for stepping up all the time. He gets fucked up by good guys. He doesn't like. He either smashes you or he quits. When he quits, it's hard for us to see, right? But he takes the fights, and he doesn't need to, though. That's what I respect about Conor. Like, he's got enough money. He doesn't need to go and fucking lie on the ground and have Khabib smash his face. He doesn't need that.
But he could do without it.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. I'd like to see him fight again. I'd like to see him fight Dan Hooker, or I'd like to see him fight Max Holloway.
Yeah, that's actually the next question. I think what's happening in the division now. Let's not talk about the featherweights because we covered that thing. Okay, let's just cover the lightweights. No? That is now looking quite interesting. I think the only way Khabib could come back, but then it also relies on Chandler building a name for himself, is if Chandler keeps winning the way he did. I think Khabib
literally.
Conor's out. I think they were waiting for Conor to do something amazing to Dustin. So that's over. Conor's never fighting Khabib again. I would like to see Conor fight Tony.
Yeah, he's never gone for it. He's never gone for the Tony fight. Even Tony's been like, Tony's called him out multiple times. Yeah. I think he called him McNuggets or something. Conor McNuggets, but Conor's never been interested in that fight. I don't see him being interested in the fight now, to be honest. Like, Conor is gonna fight, and he's not gonna fight the upper echelon guys, but he's not gonna go for a guy with 2 losses. Yeah, but I see him going for it stylistically. Dan Hooker is a nice matchup for him. It's Dan Hooker with the kicks. It's Conor with the kicks. It's Dan Hooker with the punches. It's Conor with the punches. Tony is a different ball game for Conor, because what the heck is Tony going to come with? He's going to come back with his elbows and his floor spins and his ridiculous cardio, which could be very dangerous for someone like Conor.
It's not a good matchup for him.
Tony runs the risk of getting knocked out by Conor, because Conor can find a chin, and Tony's chin is always available.
Yep.
He's never been knocked out, but it's available.
I'm looking at it in like an ideal world where, as a fan, if you have to look at both their stories now, right? I think if Conor wants to redeem himself in the public's eye, he has to beat someone grizzled and experienced like Tony, right? If Tony wants to get his legacy back, he has to be the superstar like Conor McGregor. So I think in terms of those stories, that would be the ideal story to see as a fan. Either Conor is going to prove against one of the toughest guys with an amazing record and an unusual style that he can step in and take down the best. They both are stars in their own right. And Tony has to prove that I can take out the flashy star.
It works for both of them, and it works for the UFC, because the UFC needs one of them to recover. You know what I'm saying? And to keep the money and the hype and the because because the Khabib finish got away.
Yeah, exactly. And it's never, he's never going to fight Khabib now after 2 losses like that.
He's never gonna fight.
But let's talk a little bit. So we've covered Conor, but let's talk a little bit about other interesting fights.
The title.
I feel that Chandler's, if he dominates like he did, I think it should probably be Chandler Oliveira. No, you're right. It should be Chandler Gaethje and Dustin Oliveira. The winner of those two then fight for the title. Or one of them takes the title.
Here's the problem. The problem is this. Oliveira doesn't directly qualify for a title shot. Not directly.
Okay.
Oliveira needs one more fight. He needs one more win. So this is interesting. So he needs one more fight. Michael Chandler doesn't directly qualify for a title shot. He needs one more win, then he can have a title shot. Okay. Justin Gaethje does not directly qualify for a title shot. He just had one. So he needs to have one more fight, then he can think about a title shot. The only person who is in line for a title shot at this point is Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
That's the only person. No one else. So the UFC would have to have a situation where Poirier should get a later date. So if I'm the UFC, I'd be like, Dustin Poirier, rest. Go home, enjoy your time with your family, take time off, rest. In your absence, we need to play out the following 4 guys need to be played out. Gaethje needs to play out. Chandler needs to play out. Oliveira needs to play out. And I suppose you could add Tony Ferguson in there if you really want to. Or Conor McGregor in there if you really want to. But those need to play out, and somebody from there needs to rise out and get a title shot. So it's either you're going to do Chandler, Gaethje, winner, title shot, or Chandler, Oliveira, winner, title shot.
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier has said in no uncertain term, Dustin has said, yes, he deserves to fight for the title. There's no point in giving the title shot to Gaethje. He's had it, he failed, it didn't work. There's no point in giving the title shot to Chandler. Chandler's new. He just got here. I'm not gonna fight. He said, he's like, I'm literally not gonna fight that guy. So don't even come to me with that. Dustin Poirier said the only person he thinks deserves a title shot is Oliveira, just based on the fact that he hasn't had it before.
Yeah. I think what they will do, which I don't necessarily agree with, Conor's camp will probably try and push for a Poirier rematch, which I don't know. I mean,
it's not interesting, right?
Yeah. It worked against Nate, but I don't know if that's or they're going to go for a Diaz trilogy if Diaz comes back.
Yeah. What do you think? Is that a good fight?
I think it could go. Look, I was super impressed with Oliveira. He stuck nicely to basics. He used his range well. He took out a top striker, or he was certainly standing with Tony nicely. Switched his ranges nicely.
I think Chandler will destroy him.
An animal, though. Damn, son. How fast was he on him, eh?
I think
it was like they were at different speeds. It's like someone pressed fast forward on the guy, bro. You know that thing where
his energy was
thing
too
like
much.
in 300 where it's like, and then suddenly,
yeah, dude.
He was never.
I don't
ready,
think, bro. I think Chandler's a beast. You can't. you can only feed. You can only feed a beast another beast. So if you're gonna take Chandler, the only other beasts available is Gaethje and Poirier. Those are the other beasts available. You can't feed an artist like Oliveira is an artist. Oliveira is poetry in motion. It's beautiful. It's lovely to watch. It's the transitions between the submissions. It's the slick work on the feet. Chandler's a beast, bruh.
No, anything can happen in MMA. It will be like back in the day when Royce Gracie used to take out these big wrestling beasts. Bruh. It was a different time, but I'm old school like that, and I'm saying don't.
I see the image you are creating. I totally see the thing, but let me take you back to a fight between Frankie Edgar and Yair Rodriguez. That's what I see. That's what I see. I see like Yair Rodriguez and Oliveira for me. That's the image of those two. And then Michael Chandler and Frankie Edgar. That's that other image. And I think it plays out that way. I see Michael Chandler rushing in, getting a takedown, sticking Oliveira on the ground and pounding the shit out of him. And then submitting him somehow.
Oh, he's such an animal. I look forward to seeing more of Michael Chandler. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much all our topics. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, man, I think I'm looking forward to the year. I don't want to get into details right now, but let's just say that upcoming is, of course, Israel Adesanya taking on Jan Blachowicz. That's going to be a very nice one to have a show about. For people just to look forward to. We're most likely also going to be doing a show for the heavyweight title, Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic. That's one to definitely be looking forward to. I think Ortega's fighting for the title against Volkanovski. That's one that we'll definitely have to be looking into. So these are just the exciting things that I want. In terms of the lightweight right now, we don't know what's going to happen. We can speculate, but things will play out over time. And but those are really the ones that we can now really start to look forward to.
My final thoughts are, it was kind of cool to have the crowds back in a limited capacity, like the weigh-in.
It was nice.
I enjoyed watching the weigh-in. I enjoy a Conor McGregor fight. Like, I watch more interviews when Conor is fighting.
Yeah.
I watch all the shit I would never want for some other fight. I watched all of that. What he tried to do, which was a mistake, is he tried to prove his worth as a 5-round fighter. That was his game plan. But I also saw in his face, his swag was way different when he walked into that octagon this time. That was one of the first times I've ever seen Conor look nervous, like, oh fuck, I'm in an arena.
I didn't like when he was dancing. He was dancing.
Yeah.
Did you see what the part where he was like that? I was like, no man, what crap is this? He was there like, I was like, no, shut up, dog. Like, what the hell?
Where's the fucking where the arms?
That's the one I like the most. If I ever see him do this, I'm like, oh, somebody about to get it. Somebody about to get it.
It's over, bro.
I was like, no, what? That's not the move. That's not the move. Can I say something? I also just want to say that I think that Conor McGregor, after watching him in the Donald Cowboy Cerrone fight and seeing his body in the Donald Cowboy Cerrone fight, I think Conor should try and fight in the welterweight. Personally, I think this cutting weight down to 155, it doesn't look good on him. Like, I didn't think he looked powerful at all in that 155 frame. When he fought Cowboy, I was like, damn, if this dude hits you, like, you gonna feel that left hand. But at 155, I feel like Dustin Poirier's shots were way more powerful than Conor's shots.
The thing is, we don't know. That's the whole, because of Conor and all his fuck-aroundery. I also feel you should get rid of this boxing bullshit, like, you know, it's like, oh, I'm going to fight 5 times in the UFC this year, but also like slip in a boxing match. Like, are you on drugs?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's it. We will be hitting you with more content, and peace out. And yeah, stay real. Like and subscribe. You know what to do.